All right, my friends, mic check, mic check. Here to definitely go ahead and just crank out what do you need to know Wednesday. I did a video earlier, but I wanted to make sure I got this out because I do work tomorrow. So in the event that I am just too tired or too busy to actually do it, I wanted to do this at a time. So this will be for Wednesday, April the 8th, I think it is. Yeah, it's the 7th today, so April the 8th, 2026. This is a timeless reading. You can find this and get messages at any given point of your life. It doesn't have to be this exact date, year, month, or time. My name is B, just in case if you forgot from any of my other videos, or just in case if you're new here, and this is your first time seeing my face. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. What do you need to know Wednesday is basically a general wrap up of any information, clarity, or confirmations that you'll need, starting from like the beginning of the week, as we enter the middle of the week, or maybe as we take like close out the week or whatever and go into the weekend. Nothing I say here is meant to confuse you, trigger you, or anything like that for any of those instances. Okay, it's not meant to trigger you, confuse you, or anything like that. Everything I say here is meant to just be for clarity and to help you get confirmation. So if any given point you're triggered, turn this off. Maybe I'm not the reader for you. Maybe this isn't the video for you, or maybe now isn't the time to be gaining any messages. All right, drop down below in the description box for all of that other good jazz. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, let's go ahead and pull a oracle card, even though they fell out as I said that. So I'll take these first two. Two of them fell reversed, and then two of them flipped over in my hand. So I'll take what flipped over in my hand. And we have making choices, or making a choice, excuse me, and coming to life. Okay. One has a 30 at the top, I believe, reducing down to a 3. The other one is a 29, reducing down to 28. Not 28, Lord have mercy. Reducing down to 11. And I feel like there's something in my eye. All right. Making a choice is pretty simple. The making a choice card is pretty self-explanatory. It's about a choice needing to be made, or a choice that will be coming up. Like if it hasn't hit you already that hey, this choice needs to be made. It's kind of one of those things that like you can anticipate it as you continue out the week. So maybe there is a choice that needs to be made that you're still pondering on, or as you finish out the week, a choice and the decision will be presented to you to be made, right? But making a choice is more so the card of saying like you won't have all of the answers, you don't have all of the answers, you won't know everything about everything that there is to know about everything. So now is a really really good time to kind of just throw something to the wall and then go with it and hope for the best, right? Making a choice card basically says you don't have all of the information, you won't have all the time in the world to sit and think about it. So you have to make a choice, and whichever choice you make, whatever path you choose, right? Remember that there is really no wrong answers. That's really what this card is about, right? Sometimes we drag our feet on making decisions because it's like, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I open the left door and I don't like it? What if I open the right door? And it's like, how well can you trust that whatever you choose, it is the right choice, even when it might not feel like it? Sometimes we make choices and it feels like it's not the right choice when actually it is. You know what I'm saying? It might be the unfavorable thing. Like if you knew what was behind both of these doors, if you knew what every choice and decision fully entailed down the line, would you ever really be able to just roll with the punches, right? Some things that even when they feel like, oh, I kind of regret this, isn't something that is like meant for you to be regretting. Does that make sense? I hope I'm articulating that correctly. So the making a choice card for this week makes me feel like if you've been presented with something and you have to make a choice, remember that you don't have forever and 5 days to like come up with an answer. You have to go with what sticks. You have to just roll with the punches. Flip a coin, and whichever one it lands on, go with it. And you have to just trust that as you're going with it, things will be all right, things will be in alignment with you, or that this somehow was the path that you needed to take. Especially because coming to life is here, right? Which is a positive card for me about, everything that you want, everything that you're wishing for is literally coming to life right before your very eyes. You don't have to do no heavy lifting. You don't have to do no extracurricular work. You don't have to pray super hard or none of that. It's happening right before your very eyes. You don't even have to lift a finger. However, you might need to make a choice and a decision, and you might slow down the process of things really coming together, coming to life for you by not making a choice, not making a decision, right? It's like job offers. You know what I'm saying? You might not really know which one to take. Maybe you got 2 or 3 different job offers, 2 or 3 different suitors, 2 or 3 different programs, 2 or 3 different schools. You know, you don't always have forever to do all the research and say, now which program is, what is this program about, and then what is that program about, and then what is this school about, and then why do you do this, and then how much money is this, and then how much money is it. Sometimes you just gotta, again, throw some at the wall and go with it. Flip a coin. Is it left? Is it right? Is it up? Is it down? Is it black? Is it white? Flip a coin and go with it wherever it lands. Throw some at the wall and go with whatever sticks. But a decision and a choice needs to be made. 30 at the top of this card also reminds me and makes me feel like use your intuition. You can meditate, you can pray. But again, you don't have forever, right? Think hard, but don't think long, is basically what this card is about. A choice will need to be made. If it hasn't been presented to you already, it may be presented to you before this week is over. What you need to know this Wednesday is that you will not have forever in 12 days, 40 days and 40 nights to figure out what you're going to do. You will not have all of the answers and all of the information and all of the research and Google Docs in the world and articles and YouTube videos in the world will not prepare you for whatever choice you about to make, will not prepare you for the ability to make said choice. You can stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning doing Google research, and by 5 a.m. you still gonna be like, bitch, I don't know what I'm finna do. I don't know which one I want to go with still. They both sound so great. Both schools sound so amazing. Both programs sound so amazing. Both suitors seem so nice. Both job opportunities look so promising. I don't know what to go with. Flip a coin on that shit, basically, is what you need to know this Wednesday. Because things are getting in alignment, and it's time to put yourself in alignment with what it is that you're asking for, which means that, again, you need to figure out what choice that you're making, what path that you're taking, how you want things to go. Bottom of the deck card, you have clean house. So yeah, a lot of choices will need to be being made. This also intuitively, especially seeing the clean house card at the bottom of the deck, makes me feel like for some of you, this is about also making choices about like how you want your life to live. Clean house at the bottom of the deck makes me feel like, again, spring cleaning, right? We are in spring. It is Aries season right now. Spring equinox just happened. Year of the horse just happened, right? Spring cleaning is extremely prominent. So some choices will need to be made this week. You need to start making some choices on what you gonna do, how you gonna do it. Because again, if things are coming to life for you, right? Things are blossoming, spring cleaning. You have to be out with the old and in with the new, which means what choices are you making? Okay, what frequencies are you on? I just picked up in my spirit last week, or like 2 weeks ago, and I felt like the shifts, some shifts are happening. Mercury retrograde was a big thing, and then that full moon in Libra, and then it kind of ricocheted into the astrological New Year, springtime. The year of the horse, you know, and all of that consecutively. We're in April, right? We're in the second quarter of the year, or like the, you know what I'm saying, second segment of the year. So this makes me feel like, again, you have to really make some choices. Are you going to stay on the same frequency, or are you going to change, and are you going to pivot, and are you going to grow? Right? Maybe sometimes the decision isn't so big and so profound. Sometimes it's tiny decisions, like deciding to get up earlier than usual. Hey, that's still a choice. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about it, or you're going to be about it. So for some of you, this feels like needing to clean house, needing to get rid of some things, needing to kind of sweep out the old, making a choice, right, to sweep out the old and really bring in some new energy, really bring in some new alignment, because things are coming to life for you, as it says, and now is the time to get in alignment. You don't really have to lift the finger as far as your blessings coming in, but you need to lift the finger as far as what's blocking your blessings, is what this feels like, as far as what you need to know this week. There are some things blocking your blessings. That's why I said sometimes it's not even as big as like making a choice on jobs. And it's like, well, I done stayed up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I did all my research. I researched the boss and the owner of the company and what they were about. And I looked up their mission statement, and I still don't know, because they both sound so great. That's awesome. And sometimes for some of you, the tiny, tiny, tiny things are like, again, you want to have more time in your day. You want to be more disciplined. You want to be more put together. But then you can't even make the conscious choice to get your ass up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You can't even make the conscious choice to clean your room and make your bed before you start your day. You know what I'm saying? Some people just get up and leave the house. You know what I'm saying? You see the door open over here. You see you got dresser drawers and shit all in the area. The cat up here chilling. You know what I'm saying? She supposed to be sweeping the floor. So it was like, again, for some of you, it could be with that. Just getting more discipline and making certain choices in your day-to-day routine and your discipline. Getting up early, making your bed before you leave the house, making your bed as soon as you get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning up your fit, actually literally cleaning up. For some of you, again, this could look like actually throwing stuff away. You know, hoarders are a thing. All this time we go shopping for new clothes. You ain't even threw away the clothes that you ain't been wearing yet. It been 3 years since you wore them shoes. You still lying to yourself like you saving them for a special occasion. No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't like the shoes. You ain't been wearing them. You done had 4, 5 different special occasions. You ain't thought about them goddamn shoes. Throw them away. Give them away. Get rid of it. Because you have some new things coming in, and you need to start making some choices about what is in alignment with you and keeping yourself in alignment. Which means, again, if you want new clothes, you need to throw away the clothes that you already don't want. You can't just be accumulating new clothes. If you want new relationships, friends, lovers, new energy, right? Though I say sometimes it ain't even about the frivolous things that people think, love and money and shit. Sometimes it's just about overall desire for a better sense of lust for life. Where you can jolt out of the bed, hop up out the bed and turn your swag on and shit, and you can feel good about the decisions that you're making, or the choices that you're making, how you feel throughout the day and the energy that you have. Sometimes it's reliant on your day-to-day routine. Sometimes it's reliant on how well you can clean up. You want new money, but you keep fucking up your old money. You need to make some conscious decisions on your resources and how you're spending your money. Right? So again, for some of you, this feels like you need to make a choice to kind of start clearing out some things, because things are coming to life for you. However, it's going to be hard to really allow this new energy in when you're still holding on to old clutter, old mentalities, old ways of thinking, old friends, old hurt, old baggage, old responsibilities, old habits, old patterns. But you want newness to come in though. You looking for that blessing. You looking for that one up. You looking for that jackpot. But you keep operating out of the same old energy. That's not, you know what I'm saying? You have to make a conscious decision. For a lot of y'all, this is about your frequency. For a lot of you, this is about, again, are you going to take the path that is more in alignment with you, that can help you transform and grow, or are you going to continue to live and go down a path that doesn't help you? There's a butterfly in both of these cards, but a butterfly is only coming out of this door. This is a butterfly. This is a white dove. Okay, there's a butterfly here down at the bottom too. The only time I see white doves is if it's a wedding ceremony or a funeral. So this makes me feel like a conscious choice on saying, we're closing the door on my old life, and I'm going to make a choice down the path towards a new life. And this new life will be something that's much more in alignment with you. But it's going to come out of you making the conscious choice, effort, and decision to do something differently. Okay, so take that for how it resonates. I don't have my, oh dang, and I grabbed it too. I grabbed my little tune in Oracle deck, but it's like on my bed. I didn't bring it over here. So I guess we're just without that tonight, huh? All right, well, give me some tarot. Hit me with some tarot. What we got for some tarot? And then I guess we'll wrap up with the goddess card. Give me some tarot on what we need to know this Wednesday. A couple of cards just tried to came out. I'm not going to take it, but 10 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles reverse, the Wheel card reverse, 7 of Cups reverse. So a lot of fantasy already. Give me some tarot on this for what do we need to know Wednesday for the collective. Allow these messages to find those who need to hear them the most. 4 of Wands is here. 2 of Wands is here. The Hierophant is here. 7 of Swords is here. And the 10 of Cups has fallen back out. Bottom of the deck hand, we have the Magician. Exactly. your potential, your resources. Like I said, the Magician card is about your potential. It's about your resources. It is the first major arcana card. It is the first card in the tarot deck as a whole in general. This is about a new beginning. This is about a new start on your journey. This is about the very beginning of the journey, okay? The potential of the thing, understanding your resources, understanding that you have potential to really go far, right? So this is about your own potential, the potential of your own self, the potential of what you're working hard towards, the potential of those around you, the potential of what you're building. For some of you, like I said, conscious efforts and conscious choices need to be made. If you know you want to tap into your fullest potential, you're not going to do that if you're not making the hard choices to really sweep out the old things, old habits, old patterns, old mindsets, old ways of thinking and operating, sweeping out the people who keep you behind. Also, again, we just had full moon in Libra happen, okay, which is a big energy of sweeping out old connections that really aren't in alignment with you, really don't keep you balanced, really don't support you being balanced and support being in your equilibrium relationships that causes you injustice, people who causes you injustice, people who don't stand up against injustices. You know what I'm saying? This is a good time to really think about that, and to not be washed away by the potential of the thing, but to really see people for who they are. Again, you could have a lot of potential yourself, person watching, but if you're not doing what you need to do to tap into your fullest potential, if you're not doing away with certain vices, substances, escapism tendencies, certain friends, how your spending habits is, the way you view the world, the way you view yourself, you are fucked. All of this coming to life energy will be for nothing. All of them blessings will go to the next motherfucker, but who's been doing the work and put themselves in position to actually receive these blessings. Does that make sense? I'm going to start with what I see first. We have the Four of Wands and this Two of Wands. Y'all know I like to count up in my card, so this is like a Six of Wands kind of energy. So this is about victory, success, attention, accolades, recognition. You know what I'm saying? Victory. People really giving you your accolades, giving you your flowers. This could also even indicate fame, Six of Wands energy. But the Four of Wands by itself is about harmony and building the foundation, doing what needs to be done to build the foundation. And the Two of Wands is about building upon that momentum. So again, what are you already putting in place so you can build upon the momentum? Or else you already starting wrong. Or else you already getting off on the wrong foot. You know, if you want success, accolades, if you want things to be coming together and coming to life, then it needs to kind of be built on that type of foundation. Okay, it needs to be built on that. It needs to be built on, you know, what is actually tangible. Ten of Cups energy is the energy of like wanting success, happiness, contentment, true heart emotional fulfillment. But for me, it's also like the emotion of the thing. Ten of Pentacles is more of the structure of the thing, the step-by-step can-do attitude. It's about how well can we put our heads together to really make this happen. Ten of Cups is like consider marriage, right? There's so much that goes into a wedding and marriage and all of that. Ten of Cups is like the fluff and stuff of it for me. It's like, oh, my dress is going to be white, and, you know, we're going to have this type of cake, and, you know, we're going to have this type of venue, and my hair is going to look like this. Ten of Pentacles for me is like, okay, after the wedding and the honeymoon, how are we joining finances? What does that look like? What does saving and budgeting look like? What house are we going to get in? Where are we moving? Where are we relocating? You know what I'm saying? How are we meeting in the middle? Where do you want to go? This is where I want to go. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? It's not just about how happy I am and the fantasy of the thing, the emotion of the thing. It's more of the practical effort. This Ten of Cups here makes me feel like, again, you could maybe be fantasizing about something, but without the real practical, tangible effort and the real step-by-step of how this is going to happen, at the end of the day, all you got is fluff, stuff, and fantasy, right? You need to think about the foundation of the thing. Four of Wands. That's that hard work. That's that heavy lifting. That's that foundation of the thing. It's not enough to just be in harmony. It's not enough to just eat cheese and be merry and be happy. But there has to be a step-by-step process. Again, if you want things to come to life, then maybe you have to make some choices on what needs to stay and what needs to go so you can have the life that you envision for yourself. What needs to be swept out? Who or what needs to go? And how quickly do they need to get up out of there? Okay, if you know that you want, I don't know, a stable life and a job that you love to wake up and go to every day, right? then maybe we need to start making some choices. I think I just said this in a video earlier today also, where it's like, again, your mindset might be what's holding you back. The way you're thinking, you know what I'm saying, might be holding you back. I said that in the video I recorded earlier today too, where it's like, again, you might want to quit your job. You might feel like, wow, my job is so draining and it's just so much and it's just such a hassle and just such a headache and I just really can't stand to be there no more. And it's like, okay, so then what are you going to do? What are you doing? It's not enough to just stay at the job, right? Maybe you're going places. Maybe you feel like you're going places and there's a lot of goals and accolades and aspirations you want this year. Okay. But maybe you still kicking it with friends who just trying to live to see the Friday. You know, you got to be careful with that shit. You over here trying to be the next millionaire in your family and you got some of your friends who just cool with just making it to payday. They ain't really thinking about the long term. They ain't really thinking about, generational wealth. They just trying to make it to Friday so they can go get a bottle and go get some food and get the bills paid. I mean, yeah, they cool people. I'm sure they're amazing people in their own right. But again, is that really conducive or beneficial to where you're going? And if the answer is no, then again, a choice needs to be made. You can love your friends all you want to. But if you trying to reach for the stars, people who okay with sitting at the top of the trees will only hold you back and discourage you. They really don't have that much of a place in your life. Okay. I just saw 2112 on my time thing, which lets me know too that, again, for my people watching this and that resonates, you need people around you that can mirror back to you and reflect back to you your own growth, your own potential, and where you're going. If you know you done outgrown some people, you know what I'm saying? If you know that you don't live by a certain creed no more, you know what I'm saying? The Hierophant is about morals, beliefs, and values. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in generational wealth and saving and setting your kids up for prosperity, maybe let's not hang out a whole lot with people who really ain't stunning. People who ain't trying to invest and save no money and put no money back. They're not thinking about how they can set their kids up. They thinking about surviving and maintaining and making it through right now. Which, I mean, no tea, no shade to them, but maybe not the people you need to be affiliated with. You need to be affiliated with some more people who think like you. Okay, habits and choices. You can want so much for yourself. You can want more money. You can want to be the top millionaire, the first millionaire, billionaire in your family. But if you suck at budgeting, if you don't know how to save, if you don't know how to penny pinch, if you don't know how to let your money accumulate, because see, that's the thing too, right? A lot of people just be trying to come into a whole lot of money. No, sometimes you need to learn how to let that shit accumulate. That's a part of budgeting and saving. Then you might actually learn to grow to be the first millionaire in your family, not because you fell into some luck, but because you learned how to budget, save, accumulate, put this much back. You need to be making this much money coming in. You can only spend this much money a week. That matters. That's a conscious choice. That's a conscious effort of doing things differently. Do you either want to stay on the same timeline and the same frequency, or you want to change? Because I know my answer. It just depends on your answer. You either want to stay on the same timeline and frequency, or you want to change. For some of you watching this gives you want to change. Looking at the cards on the spread makes me feel like you obviously want to change. But that means also being extremely wary of the company that you keep. Birds of a feather do flock together. Especially because the company you keep can sometimes also influence your own negative habits and patterns and shit. Then before you know it, you doing shit and then it picked up some habits and some behaviors and some patterns and shit that's not even authentic to you. Because you just hanging around the wrong crowd. Or because this the crowd you've been hanging around, but see, you're more focused on your potential. You're more focused on trying to elevate. You're more focused on your resources. But you hanging around people who really don't care. The one thing that I've really learned about myself is that as a woman who's constantly striving for self-betterment, self-improvement, I'm constantly moving the goalpost with myself. I'll set a goal and then I'll accomplish the goal and then I'll feel like, all right, well, on to the next goal. You know what I'm saying? I don't really even too much celebrate the fact that I've achieved the goal. And it takes me sometimes to really realize and take a step back and be like, oh, wait, I achieved this thing. And I've just been so go about it that I haven't paid attention, right? Someone like that is not good with people who aren't like that. So even for myself, right, it's something that this full moon in Libra kind of reminded me of, where it's like, hey, if I'm interested in tapping into my fullest potential and being the most better, healthiest version of myself, trying to really emulate what I feel like my higher self is and just be a better version all around of me. I can't be around nobody who make a bunch of excuses for why they are the way they are and ain't interested in really trying to emulate them same energies, because that'll either cause a clash and frustration because of conflict of interest, or somebody's gonna dumb themselves down to be comfortable around others. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you focused on generational wealth, budgeting and saving, and you hang out around a bunch of friends who just living to see Friday, you'll probably end up clashing with them because of conflict of interest, or you'll end up acting like you no longer care about generational wealth and saving for the sake of being around these friends who really don't care about all of that. We trying to get to payday. We finna buy this bottle. We finna get cute and go to the club. We finna get this haircut. We finna get this hair done. We finna get these lashes done. We finna buy some new shoes. And that's really all motherfuckers be thinking about. Set my child up. I'm not thinking about that. I'm only 26. I'm not thinking about setting myself up for my 30s. I'm enjoying my 26-year-old, my 20s and my 26-year-oldness. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see who gets farther in life. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just one of those things. So it's about being super strategic. Pay attention to what's being exposed to you right now at this time. The Seven of Swords reverse is like a strategic type of energy. And for some of you, you could have been moving very strategically right now, but it feels like things are being very like exposed at this time. So you could either be moving super strategic, or you need to be, or it could be exposing people who are moving super strategically with you. Actually, let's just clarify real quick. Give me this Seven of Swords reverse. Fell right on it. What is it? Yeah. I hate that this is like, okay, let's see if I can turn this up a little now. Because the sun was still up and it was a bit bright. So let's see if I can angle it so we can see this properly. Okay, that's a little bit better. See? So again, fell right on the Seven of Swords. So this is about, again, making a conscious choice, a conscious effort. Temperance card down at the bottom of the deck reversed. This is not the time to be trying to exercise a whole lot of patience with people, trying to exercise a whole lot of patience with yourself. Yeah, look at the King of Swords reversed. This isn't the time to be exercising a lot of patience with yourself, a lot of patience with other people either. If you know you have some mindsets, some mentalities, some vices that are like being exposed right now at this time, this is a good time to get strategic about how you're going to do it, even if it's other people, right? This is a conscious decision, a conscious choice. Give me something else. For who is this being strategic? Yeah, the Tower card reverse. So this could be your energy, person watching, where instead of getting people gone with this clean house card, instead of getting people gone, instead of clearing out these cycles, instead of clearing out these bad habits, instead of clearing out these ways of thinking, these mentalities, sweeping the motherfucking floor on these people and saying, yeah, this gotta go, this gotta go. Again, spring cleaning. What my boy said in everything must go, maybe even you. It's spring cleaning time, bitch. Everything must go. Maybe even you. Maybe even your own sense of self. Maybe your own sense of well-being. Maybe your own sense of how you would do things and the way you would do things and how you used to operate. Everything must go. 70% off, bitch. 70% off sale. And then what was your antennas when them motherfuckers was stealing my shit out the store? What was your antennas when them motherfuckers was stealing my shit out the store? Don't worry, I am tired of your presence. Dismissed. Okay, everything must go. That's basically what this feel like. And it's like, again, the Tower card reversed. So this is an inevitable ending. This is an inevitable thing that needs to be changed. The Tower card reversed is about, again, the foundation not being stable enough, sturdy enough for whatever it is it's trying to be built on. The Four of Wands is here as the first card out, paired with this Two of Wands. It's not enough to just be in harmony with people. It's not enough to just feel that harmony within yourself, but you really got to take a long look in the mirror about what needs to be changed, what needs to go, and who needs to go, and get moving on that. And get very strategic about how you going to do it. You feel me? You ain't got to go broadcast it to the whole world. Oh, I don't want to be friends anymore because I think about generational wealth and you guys just... I didn't tell you to go say that. Don't say that and then call me and jump off in my conversation like, oh, but you had told me that that's what I had needed to say. I didn't tell you that. That's not what I said. Okay? Don't blame me for it. That's not what I said. But what I said was, your new life, your alignment, depends on how well you can learn to really let these things go, because it's time to really start letting some things go, letting some of these shaky foundations and shaky things that these things were built on, let it go, let it die, and really rebuild some foundations. Again, like I said earlier, in the earlier video, the Tower card isn't an inevitable ending as far as like it can't be resurfaced. That's really the Death card, where it's like it can't be rebuilt, it doesn't need to be salvaged. Okay, the Tower card is to say, hey, this is the opportunity to salvage some things, but you need to build it on a different foundation. Whatever life you live in, if you want better for yourself, you need to look at your foundation. You need to see whatever you've been building your life on. Is it insecurity? Is it trauma? Is it mistrust? Is it poverty? Okay, have you built a life of a certain type of caliber because of who you hang around, and that's not really in alignment with who you becoming? Okay, are you in relationships or still seeking relationships based off of your old way of doing things and not who you're becoming? Are you still operating out of certain mentalities, operating out of certain habits? That's why I said shit. Sometimes making the choice isn't even as deep as like what program. That's a valid choice to have. Even though still scary, you don't know which program is really the best. You might get into the job and really decide to hate it. You know, you might get into a school and really feel like, this just really ain't the curriculum for me. I understand all that. But sometimes it's not even that deep. Sometimes it's about watching less TV. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about having less screen time, turning the phone off, journaling more, reading that book. Sometimes it's about getting up earlier, the conscious choice of getting up earlier, staying disciplined in that, doing the thing every day, even when you don't want to do it, going to the gym, right? Even when you don't want to do it, but making that conscious choice and sweeping out those old habits. If you act like, oh, I just really don't like my body. Oh, okay, go to the gym then. But going to the gym ain't enough. You have to also do away with what? Trash eating, eating before certain times, eating during certain times. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to add certain things to your meals, learning how to take away certain things from your meal, doing away with eating the snacks and the junk food. You know, getting less TV time, going to bed at a decent time, getting up early, making your bed. You know what I'm saying? Though I said, so there could be certain choices too that ain't even so big and profound. It's in the teeny, 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 tiny choices too, where big, big, big shifts can happen. Starting with just getting up at a decent time. That's why I said, if you want an overall better lust for life, maybe stop sleeping in till 10, 11 o'clock. Get your ass up in the morning then. If you can get up in the morning, cool, go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Do away with sleeping in. Do away with excessive drinking, smoking. Do away with excessive doom scrolling. You just in the bed just doom scrolling. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You just seen the same videos back to back to back to back to back. You just scrolling for dopamine at this point. Go to sleep. Then you're gonna wake up tomorrow like, oh, I'm just so tired. Like, I don't have any rest. Yeah, because if you take your ass to bed at night, but again, that's a conscious choice. I done did that plenty of times. No, I have. And I have to get on myself about that a lot. Like doom scrolling, I think is one thing that is so easy to get caught into, especially since how big TikTok has become. And Instagram ain't make it no better. It's so easy to just doom scroll through reels, and before you know it, it's 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. But how often do you do that? How often do you do that? When them same couple of hours, them same 4 hours you've been scrolling on the internet, them same 4 hours you've been watching this show, you could be doing anything else in the gym, writing, setting yourself up for, again, these blessings that you want in your life. So again, this feels like it's on you. You either gonna tap into a better frequency or a healthier frequency and, get on a different timeline, or you're not, and you're gonna continue to do the same things, hang out with the same people, eat the same foods, watch the same shows, and your life gonna stay in the same cycle that it's been in. But what you need to know this week is things are being highlighted for you as to what needs to be changed, what needs to be swept out, what needs to leave. It's up to you to really make that conscious choice and decision or not. Again, making a choice is here twice. The Two of Swords here is about making a choice, but then you also have making a choice. So again, it don't really get no more black and white than that, I feel like. Give me a goddess card so we can wrap this up. I would do money messages, but those cards are also on my bed. So you'll just have to follow me on Twitter if you want those, I guess. Self-trust. Yeah, look. See? Rayanon. Let's see if I can get it close enough so you can really see it. Let's see. Ah, no, I feel like I'm messing this up. Whatever. Let's see if we can. No, can you see it? Whatever. If you can't see it, you just have to take my word for it, because it says self trust. Uh, but this typically is, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. It's a card about trusting yourself, trusting your own instincts, trusting your own internal clock, knowing when things are being exposed to you, paying attention to what's being exposed to you, and trusting that you're making the right decision, trusting that you're doing the right thing. For a lot of you, again, you could be hesitant on making the right choice because, as I said in the beginning of this, you probably won't have all the information, you probably don't have all the answers, you probably don't have all the proof, and you don't have all the time in the world to do Google deep dives and research and AI questions about the answer to come up with the answer. Sometimes you got to just come up with a decision in a split second thing. But how well can you trust yourself to know that this is the right thing, even when it doesn't feel like it? Even if it is the program, a school, a job, a suitor, and it's like, well, I don't really know. Do I pick this person or do I pick that person? Do I do this thing? Do I do that thing? Do I go with this job or that job? Do I pick this program or this program? Do I go to this school? Do I go to this school? I don't know. They all seem so promising. How well can you just trust yourself? How well can you trust what's being exposed? About what needs to be swept out, about what needs to go, about who needs to go. How well can you trust yourself? How well can you trust your own intuition? How well can you trust what you feel about what needs to be swept out? You know what I'm saying? How well can you rely on yourself? How well can you trust yourself to know that, again, the changes that you're making will help catapult you moving forward? I'm just saying, bottom of the deck card, we have Pomona. So again, plentifulness. Okay, you have more than enough. It goes back to those resources. Again, you have more than enough resources. You can do bad all by yourself. Just don't stand in your own way because you want to make certain choices, and don't allow other people to stand in your way because you don't want to make certain choices. So whether it's internal or external, whether it be your own patterns, your own mentality, your own self-trust, your own changes and lifestyle adjustments that need to be swept out and cleaned out for new to come in, or whether it be something external from you and it's people, friends, lovers, people around you who are really kind of not in alignment with you and take you out of your vision anyway. Again, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a school, maybe it's a thing, and a thing that's external from you that you just simply need to make a choice on. Maybe it's a profound choice, maybe it's not a profound choice. At the end of the day, a choice needs to be made and it needs to be conscious. You won't have forever to think about it, and trust that whatever this choice is, whatever you choose to do, that it's in your highest good and that it is in your highest moral alignment to do it. Okay? Thank you for getting this far in my video. I really appreciate it. If I'm calling signs, I see Sagittarius and Taurus with this Hierophant card. I saw the Temperance card too, so I'll say emphasis on Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus as well. My name is B, just in case you forgot from the beginning of this. Like, share, subscribe, join our family over here. Drop down below in the description box if you want to book a personal reading. And yeah, I'm Audi 5000. And I'll see you over on the next video. Good night.